All right, what is going on, everybody? You know me. You know who it is. If this was a knock knock joke, you'd know the punchline or whatever. It's uh it's your host. It's old Sam Stiglmeyer. Welcome back to another installment of The Deviled Advocate. And I don't care what anybody says about the name. I like it, you know? I hate puns, but I like the name. People are like, is it a food show? Do you only talk about food? And it's like, well, sometimes, but that's not the intent. The intent is to, I don't know, maybe to take a dive into the the mind of a guy who thinks his mind is worth diving into. I don't know. You guys know I definitely like to chill, and I've had a little bit more time to chill than normal on a night I'm recording the podcast because guess what, guys? I'm done with school. Yeah, boy. Uh, I don't know. I finished up. I had graduation this weekend. I'll talk about that a little bit. Tonight I had my final, if you will. I took a test in Politics 101, Introduction to American Government and Politics, I guess. I don't even know what the title of the class is. That's how little I cared about it. You're saying, why are you taking Politics 101 when in your final semester? And it goes like this because I planned my college so well that I split it up over 6.5 years. And that's why I get to take my generals as a senior, as a super senior, if you will. But yeah, I was in and out, man. I studied for that test for like 22 minutes, and I think it took me 19 to take the test. Part of me, part of the hubris in being a 25-year-old American dude is going into a test that you've studied nothing about, you've paid very little attention in class because you don't think you need to pay attention in class because you've lived in the country for your whole life. And so you're just going to wing it on the test. And you know what? I think I did a pretty good job. I'm not going to say I aced it or anything. I probably could have done a better job if I studied, but the little bit I studied really paid off, you know? And nobody tells you that when you go to college the first week. No one says, "Hey, study. The more you study, the better you'll do." No one once told me that. And quite frankly, I'm blown away. I don't know, maybe it was my high school counselor that messed up or my parents or come to think of it, I didn't listen very well in class and therefore I probably didn't listen when those people told me what to do. Who knows? Whose fault is it? Potato, and all that business. Uh, Last week I went to this awesome concert, right? Like, and I go to a lot of sweet concerts, guys. Like, this was maybe the best show I've ever been to. The lights were awesome. The sound was excellent. I didn't really know what I was getting into. So the band is it's technically this French producer that makes synthwave or whatever. And like it's kind of a niche. His style's kind of niche because he like focuses on like synthesizers plus like horror films and metal, and it's very intense. It's really good music to drive to. I played a track at the end of last week's episode, but just the show was incredible. I thought I was gonna go see a DJ set, but the opening band had three members. It was guitar, synth, drums, and they were awesome. I thought their name was Jean, but it turns out they're French, and so it's probably Jean, or whatever. Which is fun because I have a buddy named John. Well, his name's John, but we call him John. So it's like, hey John, did you ever listen to John on the John or whatever? I don't know. It's fun. We like to have fun with it, but like they were like explosions in the sky, all instrumental, but maybe a little more, I don't know, industrial or post hardcore or something. I don't know enough about it, but the lights were really pretty. There was a lot of fog, and it was awesome. And then Carpenter Brute came up, and then they had this video screen that showed like it had lyrics on it for when their songs had lyrics, and it had like clips of the short films that they've come out with their albums. Just awesome, awesome imagery. The lighting was awesome, and it wasn't just a DJ. It was guitars, synth, drums, just like the first band. It was so fun, and like I told Gus, my homie I was with, I was like, hey, when Beast Inside Your Heart comes on, or whatever that song is called, it was the only one on the new album that I knew by name, which I clearly don't, I guess. I was like, when that song goes on, I'm moving through the entire crowd. I don't care. I'm going to the mosh pit. I'm gonna be up front for the rest of the night. And sure enough, he was right behind me when that song came on. About 3 songs in, we spent the entire night either right up against the stage or in the mosh pit dancing around. It was nuts. I used to have this complex about going into mosh pits because I'm a big guy, and like nobody wants to have a big guy in the pit getting pushed around and falling over. And I only fell over once this time. I ended up with a big old softball bruise on my shin, but ooh, baby, it was fun. It was such a blast. And then graduation came the next, couple days later, and it's like, this is anticlimactic when you've just seen a Carpenter Brute show, It was cool though. Like my folks and my sister and my nephews came to town. We started the evening off by doing my least favorite thing in the world and going to IKEA. But it turns out IKEA can be a blast when you do it with a 4-year-old. You just make the whole thing into a treasure hunt, and he loves it. And like, if the little dude's enjoying it, that definitely makes me enjoy it tenfold. So it wasn't a terrible time. I did some much needed shopping. I bought 3 brand new spatulas, which I can't wait to get bust out in the kitchen. I already busted them out as I was playing drums with them on my dashboard, so they work for that. But we'll see how they do in the kitchen. Got a couple towels. Haven't used them yet, but they're pretty thin. I was like, man, IKEA, where are all you don't have the towels I wanted. They had a bunch of different towels. None of them were very thick. None of them were very soft. I mean, granted, they were like $2 a piece, so I got a couple. I haven't used them yet. I'm a little skeptical. They've got to be better than the towels I have now, but this is me. I'm skeptical of new things. I don't update my phone. I don't update the operating system on my computer. I don't update profile pictures. It's just not something I do. I'm afraid of change, and you know what? I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna use the towels. Who am I kidding? Of course I'm gonna use the towels. They're still in the back of my car. That's the true reason I haven't used them. I haven't brought them into the house yet. What else? I got this dartboard there. It's a kid's toy. It's a big, like, yellow, it looks like a spider web. And it's Velcro, and it's got three groups of 3 different colored, like, squids. Now that I think about it, they're probably spiders that you throw and they stick, and oh boy, it is a blast. It's like darts, except you can do well if you're not good at darts. And I'm not good at darts. I'm very bad at darts. I wish I was better at darts. I don't care about darts enough to practice, so I don't plan on getting better at darts, but whatever. Let's get past it. Actually, speaking of darts, I played darts this weekend quite a few times. I had 2 buddies have 2 birthdays this weekend. On Saturday, I went out to celebrate Chuck's birthday. Happy birthday, Chuck. He's 27 years old. We thankful that he's not a famous rock musician, because it could be a perilous year for him. But we went out to this bar where our buddy bartends, and it was cool. It was whatever. Got to meet a lot of Chuck's friends. Mostly just hung out with the homie Eric and tossed darts. I was introduced to a new drink, and this podcast is not sponsored by it, but someday, hopefully, they will be. White Claw hard seltzer water. It's like a LaCroix, like a soda water, but with a little bit of booze in it, a little less booze than an actual beer. So like, you can crush them. They hydrate you. and you're not getting as drunk as you would on a beer. Oh boy, it's an incredible invention. Uh, White Claw, hard seltzer. I only tried the black cherry. They have a grapefruit as well. I don't know why anybody would drink grapefruit when there's cherry flavoring. I don't know. I'm not crazy. I think it's weird that people eat grapefruit in the first place. It's like, ooh, I like this fruit, but not unless I put sugar on it. I'd be a lunatic if I put some sugar on a banana or a slice of pineapple or an apple or a grape. I guess some people like roll sugar like strawberries and sugar, but that's I don't know. Grapefruit, what's your deal? Why are you so sour? Why are you exactly like an orange except you don't no one eats you like an orange. They don't peel you, they cut you in half and they scoop you out. You're like a bad coconut or a bad pomegranate or a bad kiwi or you know what? A bad bowl of ice cream. Those are all things you scoop out. Most of them were even fruit. The next day, Sunday, it was Tony's birthday. He's going to be my future landlord. He was turning 37 years old. And you see, I like to have friends from different generations, you know? So, like, Tony's 37, Chuck's 27. I've been hanging out with these middle schoolers recently. I just, I like to have friends of all shapes and colors and ages. Because then you just know more people, you know? The more people you know, the better. Because you should always be networking. That is the golden rule, right? Always be networking. And yeah, maybe those middle schoolers can't do something for me today, but I'm a screenwriting graduate living in Minnesota, and those middle schoolers were taking high school math, so like maybe they're gonna be more advanced. They're gonna own, you know, they're gonna be big wigs someday, and maybe they'll be able to help out. They'll say, "Hey, Sam, we remember when we were just a little guy, and you used to push us on the swing," or you know, not. I don't hang out with middle schoolers, guys. I was trying to do this hypothetical bit, but now I just feel uncomfortable about it. Maybe it's because it's so hot in this studio, and I'm not in a studio. I'm in my bedroom, but I can't have the window open because people will hear me hollering like a lunatic, and I can't have the fan on because then you guys will hear the fan, and you won't hear me hollering like a lunatic, and it's a no-win situation. I honestly don't know how I'm gonna make it through the summer, guys. I'm sweating. It's like I don't have air conditioning and I'm sweating. That famous rap lyric. Yeah, I don't know. I was talking about IKEA. I think I got a little sidetracked. Talked about some birthdays, and I guess I have one more anecdote about IKEA. It's funny. Little dude was walking around like just singing this. It sounded like it was maybe like a monk sort of chant. It was very ominous. And I go, "Hey, it's pretty ominous, pal." And he looks up at me and he goes, "I'm not a pal. I'm a Korean boy." It just it made me so happy. It was such a funny little comment from a 4-year-old. And I mean, he is a pal, so he's not totally right, but he's also a Korean boy, so he's also very right. And I don't know, just blows my mind a little bit. But yeah, okay. So I was at Tony's birthday, right? And that was fun. He'd rented out this basement of this German place. He had a bunch of friends show up. It was very impressive. None of them were middle schoolers either, but it was cool. It was since he was turning 37. He's a big Kevin Smith fan. He threw a Kevin Smith themed birthday party, and so he was dressed like Kevin Smith. A few other people were dressed like Kevin Smith. There was an Easter bunny. When you walked down the stairs, there was a big sheet that had shoe polish on it, or shoe stain, whatever they call that dark stuff. And it said, "I assure you, we're open," and that's funny because it's from the first movie, and I think Clerks 2 as well. Uh, all of the themes were Kevin Smith themed snack, or all of the snacks were Kevin Smith themed snacks. So there's chocolate covered pretzels and there's snowballs, which get out of here with snowballs. That's a disgusting treat that's disguised as a tasty treat. It's like, if you've never had one, it's like marshmallow on the inside, and then like just this sponge brownie. Just a spongy old brownie. And then like another coating of marshmallow with like a coconut, like, I don't know, seasoning. It's not coconut flakes. It's weird. It's not tasty. It's like that you could take the first layer off and it was you could peel it first of all, right? You could peel off the first marshmallow layer and it was stretchy. You could stretch it into twice its size, and then you could even peel off the brownie layer, which was okay. It was pretty spongy. Not the best brownie I've ever had. Which, shout out my other sister who got me the sweetest graduation present ever, a receiver for my record player, and her famous homemade brownies. Those were awesome. Thank you. Way better than a snowball. Way better than Hostess brand snowball treats. Clearly, I'm not trying to get their sponsorship. They're not White Claw hard seltzer. I'd take a sponsorship from my sister's brownies though, because those are awesome. But yeah, he had some cool themed snacks. It was a fun time. There's a sign on the register that said, "If you plan on shoplifting, please let us know." Themed like the movies. A lot of people were playing themed music on the jukebox. It was fun to see all those people come together to celebrate my friends. I said it in episode 1 and maybe 2, and I love birthdays, you guys. There's not much better. It's a day you get to celebrate a buddy. You just go out. Hey, this one's for you, Chuck. This one's for you, Tony. Whatever. All sorts of stuff. It was pretty cool. Yeah. I'm done with school. I've talked about it. It hasn't really sunk in yet. What am I going to do with my life? Oh. How does it feel? What's it like being a post-grad in this economy? I don't know. I don't know, and I don't know. This is the answer for all those. I guess short-term answer, it feels good to be out of school. What am I going to do short-term? I've got a busy summer. I've got a lot of things I'm hoping to produce. I hope to keep this podcast going, first and foremost. I hope to have... I'm writing a script for a horror anthology, possibly 2 scripts for it. One is called Hell to Pay. It's about a haunted wig. The other one is called Die Job. It's a musical Sweeney Todd comedy parody. Yeah, I'm gonna do hopefully do a bigger budget action short, kind of obviously a comedy later on in the summer, called Throwdown in Pizza Town, or that's a working title, but should be pretty cool. Just talked to a cinematographer about it this weekend. He sounded pretty excited, wanting to get on board. Just pitched another script to my little production crew, and it sounds like we might have a little event in store. Kind of do a little mockumentary on this event about Pinewood Derbies. So I'll keep you posted on that. It should be really exciting. And I'm not going to tell you guys too much about everything I'm going to do, because first of all, you don't care. Second of all, I don't know entirely. Third of all, I don't want to give it away because I don't want you to steal it. I don't want you to Zuckerberg me, If anyone, I want to be the Winklevoss guys. But in an alternative world where Zucks doesn't come in and ruin everybody's life and start using facial recognition and steal all our data and stuff. Because I don't think I don't think the guy who played the Winklevoss twins, nor do I think the Winklevoss twins would do that. And that's coming from somebody who doesn't know the Winklevoss twins at all. Yeah, so a bunch of short films coming this way this summer. Now that I've got some more spare time, I'm going to have some guests on the podcast, hopefully pretty regularly. I'm going to start up that second podcast next week, the Shows and Music podcast. So keep an eye out for that. Pretty excited about the future. So if you guys are excited about the future, if you enjoy the podcast at all, share it with anybody you think would like it, or don't. I don't care. Obviously, I want more people to listen, but I'm gonna keep doing it either way because consistency is key. And you can call me Consistency Zimmer because I'm. You guys know Constance Zimmer. She's an actress, a famous television actress. No, anyway, doesn't matter. I'm gonna keep it consistent, and I will talk to you guys later.